scored the most points. I'm Joe Starr. This is ScreenJunkies News. Hey guys, it's Joe along with my starting lineup of football athletes. Starting from the end, Victor Torres, thanks for joining.
Howdy.
Our quarterback, Dan Murrell.
I am the punter.
And Ray Finkel.
And our Ray Finkel, Andy Signor. Guys, who cares about the game? Let's talk about commercials.
Yeah.
That's why I watched the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That and the SNL Totino's parody commercial. I've done it. I promised I would reference that commercial in every video we did today, and we've done it. Guys, let's get the bad out of the way, okay? We don't want to linger on it, so let's get in there and just punch the bad. What did you guys not like? Andy.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I did not need to bring back Spuds McKenzie and the Ghost Spuds thing.
That nostalgia didn't do it for you?
That was just the perfect example of nostalgia gone awry. Of like, I don't believe enough people remembered him. Kids watching, they're like, why is there a floating dog? What is this thing?
I actually had no idea that was a thing.
Exactly.
I thought it was...
I was young, and I'm old enough now, but young enough back then to remember Spuds McKenzie. It was kind of cute, but not really that great of a campaign to begin with.
Well,
but it's just like, oh wait, that was a popular. People like think it was it was popular because they just did it over and over again.
Yeah.
But like bringing it back was not needed at all.
Well, and it's not even fun nostalgia. It's like, hey, remember that dog you loved in the 80s? He's dead.
He's dead. He lives in dog.
Wow, that is dark.
Also, it looked like someone was just holding the dog in the air, and then they green screened the guy out, and so the dog just looks like it's being dragged and just looks miserable.
I felt bad because I hated on this on Twitter, and the guy who made the ad tweets at me and goes, "I made that. I'm a big ScreenJunkies fan."
Oh, no.
And I wrote back and said, "Sorry, I didn't like the commercial." I'm sure you're doing really good though if you're directing Super Bowl ads. Ching!
All right, Andy, what else besides Ghost Spuds did not do it for you?
Well, look, there was one that I just thought was a really wasted opportunity because it's going to refer to my bet, because they did sort of 2 live commercials this Super Bowl, and one of them I just think was a huge wasted opportunity. The Snickers ad with Adam Driver. I don't know about you guys, but like, did you even know this was happening live during the Super Bowl? Like, what a very expensive big deal that I feel like no one really even realized wasn't done live.
Yeah.
And it's like it's shot too cinematic. They did it really. I mean, it looks great, it looks cinematic, but like I don't believe it. Even though they're telling me it's live, I don't believe it's live.
I was pretty confused by it. Yeah, I had no idea that it was live until this morning. Like when you mentioned,
they had tried their best prior to the Super Bowl to sort of tell people, oh yeah, Adam Driver's doing this live Super Bowl ad. It's gonna be really epic. I had no idea until I did research after the fact. And then it's like you didn't buy one more ad prior to like hype up. In next third quarter, get ready for the live event with Adam Driver. They're like, oh, it's going to be easy. Like they could have easily stunted that up to be believable, and they just failed.
Well, they didn't set it like they did set it up. They're like 21-3 halftime, but it was like at the very beginning, and like the camera wasn't even like on him. It was very confused. Like their proof that it was live was very.
Right,
and you missed it. It was right at the top.
I'm calling it a failure in my eyes because I know how that was
hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
Very expensive, complicated like thing, and they just didn't think it through.
Yeah, it's like you came up with the best, funniest tweet, and then you forgot to like at the person, and it's just a complete failure. Dan, failure for you.
Did we need more Justin Bieber?
No.
Oh man.
Just
T-Mobile
that day or like
and
in
Justin
life?
Bieber, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I mean, just,
but Gronk's there too.
Gronk is there, but Gronk's doing the same bit that he's done. Jimmy Kimmel and 8,000 other talk shows. I'm a dummy. Like that's his basic bit. And then like Bieber is like that's something that Verizon would have done 5 years ago, and T-Mobile's just now catching up to. Like I don't know who they're trying to appeal to. Like, oh, we're gonna get Justin Bieber in this ad. Like if you do that. Okay, but he should make fun of himself, or like Bieber can't do an ad now. It's like, look at me, I'm cool, because the world's like, no, you're not anymore. You're really not. You weren't really ever, and it just seemed like 5 years too late, behind the times. If you're gonna go that way, go with a celebrity that can make fun of themselves, or it just seems just an ad exec is like, you know who the kids like? Justin Bieber.
And a little cabbage patch of a bad boy.
Is it just me, or does Justin Bieber kind of look like a child version of Tom Brady? When I was watching that commercial, I was like, he looks like Tom Brady.
That would have been good.
That would have been
Brady.
I was like, oh, it's just Justin Bieber, yeah.
Would have loved that.
Well, the other thing the internet was comparing him to was the Six Flags guy.
The origin story of the Six Flags guy.
Or the ways to make money guy with all the question marks on his suit. Oh, that guy was the best.
Yeah, look at him. It's the Six Flags dancer.
Yeah, that's true. That same outfit and everything.
Love it.
Good call.
Victor, take us out.
I was not a fan of the Bye 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 trailer with Christopher Walken and Justin Timberlake. I love Christopher Walken. I love Justin Timberlake. I thought it was so on the nose and just seemed very lackluster. I was opening as soon as it opened, and he's like quoting like the song, and I'm like, I don't get what's going on here. I'm like, oh, it's Bye Bye Bye. The product is Bye Tea or something. So I was just more or less just kind of like, okay, like you just quoted a song. It didn't do anything for me, and it wasn't. I feel like it was kind of like wasting Christopher Walken to me.
Yeah.
And Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that definitely came out of like someone shook up a couple of different cups that had things that people like in them. They were like, Walken, Timberlake.
It didn't bother me as much as the other ones, though.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest. That one was like a
standard.
It was a pass.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just so on the nose that I was just kind of like, oh, that was it.
It's a big waste of a Walken.
Yeah.
Perfectly good
And
Walken.
$5 million.
So guys, let's put some sunshine into the internet. Let's talk about the things that we liked. Andy, what worked for you?
Well, I think the live one that did work was the Hyundai ad that Peter Berg directed. But I do think they mistake. I don't think a lot of people really understand how good this ad is, because it's sort of, you have to tell a lot of the story in 30 seconds. But they were shooting this commercial during the Super Bowl at where were they? Poland. Okay. And so soldiers were stationed there away from their families, but they made this big Super Bowl event, and then they made a 360 experience that they could then go walk into, as you're seeing right here. And then if we zoom ahead to it, you'll see the finale of it. They present their families there with them, because watching the Super Bowl is way more amazing with your families around you. Like, that's just adorable. That's just amazing. Technically amazing. Just so touching. And then Better Drives Us. Like, I didn't even see a car in that ad.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, kudos. They didn't force the car in some weird way of, let's get them all. Trust me, we've been there. Let's get all the family into the car before it drives off. Like, thank you, Hyundai. We're not idiots. I appreciated that. And I thought that was just a really clever concept and worked. And I think, even after the fact, that stickers one won't. I don't think anyone will care or need to watch that again live later. But this one, I think, will start getting shared now.
And every
that's gonna be a
small
success.
piece of that was so hard to do. So just putting all of those together, because I know, like, we've had to pitch prank and surprise and sort of reward videos and stuff like that in the past, and like every little thing they did was something where you kind of go, that's a big ask.
Yeah.
And so just putting all that stuff together was huge. And I believe you liked.
The Skittles one, as stupid as it was, it did genuinely make me laugh.
Yeah.
My wife was like looking at stupid. Like, you're really laughing at this. I just found that really clever. It's just the dumbest thing. And then it just.
I think the beaver was what did it for me.
beaver.
Yeah, the beaver was more like, why?
Why
But
the
I
beaver?
I let him have it.
They broke that game, man. That's what
Yeah.
comedy's all about. And then less funny, but still really good, really poignant. You really liked, I know, 84 Lumber.
Oh yeah, the
you wanted to
84
throw
Lumber
out,
thing.
too.
I mean, it did. You have to, for it to go political, you have to go to the web to actually watch it, because apparently CBS wouldn't let them show the finale, which is she's building a little flag and they are stopped by a wall in Mexico. But then 84 Lumber, sorry. The twist is that they weren't constructing the wall; they were constructing a door for them to be able to come through, because we're all. Because workers are built by all the walls and things you do like this are built by immigrants. It's just a very touching, sort of like really well put together story that we didn't even get to see. And then I just saw all the chatter, and because so many people were raving about this online, I did go to the website and watch the whole thing. And it's a really well done film. Like, it's shot really well done, directed, political, feelings aside. I just thought it was an impressive feat cinematically.
And I think the interesting thing with this one, and also the Budweiser refugee
also-
ad,
I like
they got it. I mean, these things aren't built like, oh guys, 3 days and then the Super Bowl. Let's shoot our commercial real quick. What's the pulse? Like, these things are shot, months in advance. So I thought that the timing of those things. I mean, from a cynical ad guy point of view, like, I would have been like, oh, this couldn't be better. Those buzzwords were huge, so it's crazy that worked out that way. And then you really liked that Honda one.
Oh well,
right?
no, I didn't like. It
creepy.
It was creepy. It was.
Oh, we wanted to mention the
sort of
creepiness of it.
I wasn't sure where you guys stood in that weird yearbook thing.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
It's just
Creepy.
like where the Tarkin syndrome is back in crazy degrees. But it's like at the same time, I was sort of. It did get me talking. My wife and I talked about this one probably the most. Like, clever conceit, but like really creepy delivery.
Yeah.
But it did stick in my
We're
mind.
a little bit in the valley there.
So is that a failure or not? We're talking about it.
Yeah. Let us. Yeah, that one's a little creepy. Let us.
Very creepy.
Dan, favorites.
Favorites. I liked, as we mentioned, this is a very political. For ads, very political, and I think that the 84 Lumber one had a good message. I thought that the Bud one had a good message. I think some of them were kind of like, liberalism's in this year. Let's do one of those. I thought that there were some ads that were just kind of like, I think. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Sure.
But
Like the
one
Coke ad?
yeah, that they reran from. I get it, but also I'm just like, how much of that is your company wanting to make a stand, and how much of that is like HuffPo is going to share the crap out of this ad? Maybe I'm a little too cynical. But I think that one that I actually liked because it wasn't just kind of a generic message was Audi's. I thought it actually did make a good statement with the Drive Progress ad because it did not back down from the issue that it was talking about. It did not back down. It did not use kind of abstract language to dance around it. It's like, what am I going to tell my daughter? Am I going to tell her that she's less than every other man she meets? And, it's advertising. And again, this is a commercial. And I think there's nothing wrong with the brand saying, these are our values. This is what we're committed to. And, we are committed to equal pay for equal work at this company. And if you like it, great. I like the fact that they didn't just kind of give out a platitude. They were like, this is an issue. This is where we stand. If you agree with us, you don't. They had to know that there were going to be people that did not like it. But I like that they took that stand and didn't just kind of go halfway with it. That they were like, this is something that we stand for. And
there wasn't like a shock reveal where they're like, it's the little girl, and we're out.
Right, exactly.
Really,
like, I don't know. I like the fact that, a lot of people kind of danced around, and I think they really went all the way.
It looked super fun too, like with
Yeah.
the racing. When I was a kid, I never did anything like that. I just had Power Wheels, and that lasted like 20 minutes before the battery died.
Right. And
It's so dangerous.
It does seem dangerous, but,
that kid had a much better childhood than I did.
Yeah, that's a great.
Where do those soapbox races actually happen?
They happened in the Heartland.
Yeah, somewhere.
Heartland of
there.
America in 1967.
She looks like she's racing ham from
I agree,
Sandler.
though. I like that ad a lot.
Watch a full movie.
I liked that ad. I thought the John Malkovich ad was funny. It kind of poked fun at his image. And then one that I didn't mention before, but that I actually kind of liked was the Febreze ad because it was like there were a lot of serious ads that everyone was just like, these are the best ads of the Super Bowl. They took on really important issues. I like that there was an ad for Febreze that was just like, hey, at halftime you're going to poop and you don't want it to smell bad. It's relatable. It's true. It's everyone knows what that feeling, and it's like, hey, good on you, Febreze. You know what your product is meant for, and you're selling it outright.
You got to throw in that fart joke to break up the tension. Otherwise,
Exactly.
More so than making fun of Malkovich's image, I love that the world feels that Malkovich has like an image that always needs to be brought up. Like there was a movie making fun of John Malkovich's image, and now a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
I like that John Malkovich is just placed in such high esteem.
Well, and there's nothing better than pissed off Malkovich because he like accentuates every consonant. Then when he's talking,
Yes.
I thought it was hilarious, and they were just like bleeping out everything he was saying. He's a funny guy.
Love that Malkovich. And you also dug 84 Lumber.
I loved the 84 Lumber commercial. I also went to the website and watched it. It reminded me of a movie from 2013 called The Golden Dream, which if you haven't seen it, go see it. Go find it, track it down somewhere. It's about 3 Guatemalan teenagers who are kind of making their way up to the border. It's super touching. I thought for this 5-minute commercial, essentially, I mean, it looked like a film.
Yep.
And for her to be kind of like picking apart, these little like fragments along their journey, for it to be the American flag, that's like these pieces that make the whole. I've watched it like multiple times, just from the production value and the story alone. I think it's incredibly engaging, and the message, whether you're political or not, I can't imagine anybody watching that and not feeling something. I really, that was my favorite from this year.
Also, maybe one of the first times a commercial has said, click on this site for more, and I did.
actually-
I definitely didn't for Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
God.
But I want to. I'm glad you brought that because that trend is annoying me.
Yeah.
It's like literally every ad. It's like watch the full Transformers big game spot. It's like no,
just show it
I
to
just
me,
saw
man.
it. Why are you making me watch?
Why are you having less people go
Yeah,
watch?
it's
And to be fair, they
so
had
absurd.
to. They didn't want to do that. They had to. It's ironic that Fox didn't air it because they thought it was too political, but that's
Yeah.
a whole other discussion. But I like the fact that they didn't, because a lot of times you'll hear that Super Bowl ads get censored and they pull back and they say, then we're not going to air it. And I like the fact that they said, okay, fine, you don't want to air it. We'll air what we can and we'll tell people to go watch the rest, and hopefully they do.
And it seemed to pay off. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out and talking about commercials with me. Any big final thoughts on Super Bowl ads?
Where was Doritos?
No Doritos.
Where was it? Was
I'm
there
good
even
skipping Doritos.
was there a contest, a commercial contest
Every
this
year
year?
they have a
There were
commercial
like a
company.
million bad spots I had to watch from all my improv friends on Facebook.
How do we, as Los Angeles artists, know that we're making any career progress?
How do
if
we know what
didn't
the
do
comedians are up
this year?
to from October through December if they're not running an ad?
Oh my God.
Can you vote for their spot?
Well, guys, internet, did you guys have a great pitch for a Doritos ad that didn't have an opportunity to see the light of day this year? Link it in our comments and we'll give it a good thumbs up. Let us know what you thought about the Super Bowl ads this year. Were they great? Were they artistic? Or were they just funny fart jokes? Let us know. Click around here for more videos and hang out with us more today on Screen Junkies News. Bye, guys.